Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to think of something new. I'm a little bit crazy. Well, maybe not a little bit, but a lot crazy. And I came up with this idea of making a little pouch out of Ziploc bag instead of a big pouch which can still hold your cards. I'm going to try to make a good sized pouch to hold your card, or something that can kind of make it much more fun to protect your book. So some of the materials you might need. So for the materials you'll need is, for if you're wanting to make a pouch for your cards, you just use a simple Ziploc bag and put them in. But if you want to make like those miniature ones, here's what you'll need. You'll need scissors. Yeah, you can use tape, and you can also use, well, maybe that's all. But you'll also have to need to cut it out, and you'll also need a ruler to measure the exact distance you want it to be. Then for the people who would like to make a little booklet, you will need a Ziploc bag, scissors, a ruler, a glue stick, a Sharpie and a pen, some paper, the tape, and a stapler. Basically all of the things except the Pokemon cards or cards and the little money stuff. Or if you would like, you can make a little money pouch, and then you could zip it up in the bag. But that's what I'm going to make here today. And so we're going to first start off with the cards. What I want to recommend is you cut this in half, or you could just take one of your cards out and then put them on the Ziploc bag right about there and then cut off like that way. But I'm going to start cutting it in half because half of the side I'm going to do a booklet and half of the side is for my cards. And yeah. Also, if you want to be more precise, you can use a ruler to measure about that, of how big you want exactly to fit all your cards in here, because some of the cards I have these pouches, and I think maybe it's a bit fun way if you would want to put your other cards in some of these pouches too. And yeah. Let's get started. So as you can see, I've picked a few of my cards, and you can have one. I'll take the Jinx card, and I'll put the rest that I want in the pouch over there. You get that, and by the way, you can also use a Sharpie to outline your card. Just make sure, try not to write on it, okay? So I've traced a bit of an outline. It was just like make enough space so it can joggle around in, and then all you have to do is cut it out, and there you have it. And you can pause the video if you would like, and take your time if you want. Okay, so first thing first, we're gonna put and see if the card can fit inside here cozily and warmly. And when you open it, it should open like this because you haven't even glued the edges together. But first, we're going to see if this will be cozy and see if we can Ziploc it back up. And try not to let any other pieces go out. As you can see, it fits cozily and warmly, so I know this is the right amount. Next thing you do is take your scissors and cut off that little green part right there. Alright, so we've cut off the top, and now you can, this is the time you can use tape. I pulled off a little bit of tape before I started, and yeah, you can cut it into skinny pieces and then put it on the side and then fold them around, but I'll give you a tutorial and tell you what to do after I'm finished. And while I'm still taping, try to also tape the top part, but try not to get it over that line. So when you open it, there'll be enough room, and like those Ziploc bags, you know. and I've taped the whole side down. It doesn't always have to be perfect, but try to make it precise so your card can still fit in here. Because sometimes if you tape them too much, it will not fit anymore. So I recommend you try to make it all wider if you want to. Now, if you have some leftover tape, you can put tape it here, and I'm just onto the bottom, trying to make it as flat and try to leave no tape out. Alright, and there you have it, guys. A little pouch. But the only problem is, will it fit? I'm gonna slide it in there. Gonna shake it in there. And it does! Well, there you have it, people. Here is your very own POKEPOUCH. And you could fit more cards, and it depends on how big your Ziploc bag is, how many room you put in there. So I can't put the whole stack in there, can I? I don't think so. I don't think all of them will fit. So I think you'll have a limited amount of putting only about how much it can hold. Depends on the size of how much you want. And yeah. And we're going to move on to the book. But wait, I'm still trying to see the maximum amount of how many cards you can put in there. So I'm going to put in as many cards as I can and try not to let it break. Probably the maximum is about 7 or 10 or something. It depends still. Okay, now here it gets a bit tricky. It depends on how big your Ziploc bag has been. Unless if you're only making one, if you're only making the POKEPOUCH, you can fin. That's all the video is. But if you want to keep on going and make the book, then only a book. You can make it as big as you want. But hey, let's just move on. So in order to make a book, you need to figure out how much area your book is going to get. Got it lined up, and then you use your Sharpie to measure exactly where you're going to cut the bottom. Mine is going to be 5 inches in height, including the Ziploc green part. Then you're going to measure how long your bottom's going to be. And this is really important when you're going to cut out the paper. This one is about 4 inches. It's just so close. Like if you pay really close attention, it was right there somewhere. So yeah. Now you can cut it out and do the same. Cut the top part out. Just like that big bumpy part so it wouldn't really show. But before you do that, now you're just going to measure how much it is starting from that point. Don't include the green part now. So you know how big your paper is going to be. Mine is about 4.5, and you can always cut off the overalls after you're finished making the book. Oh, then you cut it out, like how we did in that one. Alright, we've cut this out. And if you want to, you can color the paper or whatever, but after we do this part. We'll take the book aside. I hadn't cut off that, but we cut off that bumpy part. So we're going to put that to the side. And now what I'm going to do is take these 2 pieces of paper and then measure it how I measured, and measure it exactly how this is. And you can cut out as many pieces of paper as you like, but wait, that's only the front cover. So if you only use this one for the front cover, or if you don't want to do that much work, you can open this up and measure how much this is. This would be about 4.5 in height and 8 inches for width. And then you can start cutting from there, or you can just trace it like this and trace it. But I would like to use the ruler instead, since it's much more easier way. Found it. And I'll just basically match the Ziploc bag. But first you're going to do the front and the back cover using this white sheet of paper. And unless if you want to do a diary, on the inside you can use the lined paper, just don't include the holes and cut it about right there, and then make those miniature lines and try to cut that heading part too. Unless if you are wanting to make a book, you can add a little bit of that and then tape on some of this white sheet of paper for your drawing, or make the drawing on a different page. And we'll continue on maybe in the next video, but yeah, this is all I have to say about this video. And if you want to continue making the book, see us in the next video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, that's all for right now. See us in the next video to continue making the book. Bye.